All right, we are live and recording. All right, so I'll share my screen just quickly. We'll stop in a moment. Okay. Hopefully you can all see this. So what I want to do before Matt gives his feedback is just quickly cover what you need to do from last week and from this week. As always, go to Schoology. All right. So last week, it's a little bit slow today. Sorry about that. Okay, so there was the Quizlet, as always. We'll have a look at what you had to do for the assignment. There was a review activity you had to do as part of the assignment. And then there were 2 activities from the textbook. What you should do each week, just go to the end, okay? Just to make sure that you've done everything you need to. So last week, you had to do the vocabulary, set 3, okay? Let's just see who has done that. I'm going to switch over to Quizlet. Okay, so last week when I showed this to you, I was actually only showing 2 weeks worth of material. This week, I'm showing you a whole month's worth of material. So for those people who did it early, if you didn't see all the ticks against your name, that was why. When I evaluate this, okay, I will take everything that has happened, okay, over the whole quarter. So the evaluations for this will be in a couple of weeks. Okay, I don't know about this student. He's going to have to pull his socks up. But everybody else, almost everybody else, has done a fantastic job, all right? Okay, so that was Quizlet. This week, you need to do set 4. And I think many of you have actually already done it. Oh, okay, so some of you have done it. Okay, but that's what you have to do this week. The other thing you had to do last week, you had to create materials for the project. Okay, so read through the information page and do the content quiz. Now, the reason I made that quiz, okay, is not because I like tests. It was to try and guide you through the important activities and the important ideas that you needed to think about while you were making your movie, while you were creating the materials that were going to be shown in your movie. And then there were the 2 textbook activities. Now, just on that note, there's something else I need to show you and explain before we go on too far. And that was with the content. I made a mistake last week. I forgot to put in the instructions for how to create a movie using Adobe Spark. Okay, so I went back and I redid that. So if you need the instructions for how to create a movie, they are now here. Okay, now some of you were able to do the activity. You must have worked it out yourself. Okay, but what I now have, the instructions for how to create the movie using your storyboard. Okay, your storyboard is really, really important because you will use the material that you created in your storyboard and convert it into your movie, your Adobe Spark movie. Okay, so these were the processes you need to follow to create a movie. When you first create a movie, it will ask you to watch a demonstration video. You should watch it. It is useful. It does show you how to use Adobe Spark. And then there was the create the material for your movie, and that I explained last week, so I won't go back through it. Okay, so that's what you had to do last week. Now, we'll just have a quick look at the outline for this week, and then we'll turn it over to Matt. So again, as usual, go to the instructions, you'll see in this week's folder, it's quite busy. The Quizlet material is there as usual, okay? This week you'll be doing the set number 4. There is more information about what you need to do for the movie project this week. Okay, there's no review this week of what you have to do. You just need to read it and do it. And then there are 3 activities from the textbook, pages 61 and 62. And 2 of those are listening activities. We'll look at those a little bit later. So and there's one other thing. You need to register with Remind, okay? Because starting from this week, you will be getting surveys again. They will be worth 5% of your grade. So let's have a quick look at the instructions for this week. Okay, as usual, it starts from today and it will finish next Tuesday. We are here now. We've talked about the Quizlet practice already. Matt will go over feedback for your storyboards in just a moment. And then I will talk about what you have to do this week for the assignment. We'll look at the textbook activities and the special announcement, the fact that there will be surveys, okay? Whoops. So there are going to be surveys. The first survey will actually be today in about 15 minutes time. So, having said that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we will turn this over to Matt. All right. Matt, you want to take it away?
Okay, thanks, Andy. Good explanation so far. I will just give a few comments about the homework that you guys did for last week about your storyboards. All right, basically I was looking for the level of detail that you provided, the organization or the way that you divided that information in detail into different sections or scenes, as they were called in the storyboard. And I was also looking at the way that you kind of introduced and concluded your movies as well, or didn't do that in many cases. All right. Basically, it was out of 10 points, this homework, and most scores were somewhere within 6 points to 8 points range. So that's kind of an average score, I think. There were a few of you who got some 5s or maybe a little bit lower, but if you got lower than 6, you did not have enough detail. You had maybe too much information on one slide or one scene. Instead of breaking up your ideas into different scenes and into a clear logical organization, you just kind of put all of your information into one place. So that's a bad thing to do. Think about how to organize and split up your scenes and ideas. All right. Others just didn't have enough detail, or they just had very simple lines, which after you record it is going to be very short. Right? You want to make sure you have enough detail and content to fill the length of the movie. Andy, can you remind me how long are the movies supposed to be? Is there some sort of time limit?
Yeah, the time limit is between 1.5 minutes and 2 minutes. Okay, it should be 2 minutes max. English Central likes it to be 1.5 minutes, but I would actually prefer it if you guys went closer to 2 minutes. Okay,
2 minutes, 2 minutes maximum. All right, which actually isn't that much, but some of you didn't even have enough details, I don't think, to fill 2 minutes. Others of you might have had too much, or you might need to think about how to split up your ideas to make it a little more logical. All right, another big problem I noticed with many of the storyboards was that there was no introduction or no kind of way to open your movie, and there was no conclusion to it. It just kind of started abruptly and ended abruptly. So make sure you have some sort of introduction, or you're showing the purpose, or you're explaining what you're about to do. It's similar to what you learned in presentation skills class. All right, make sure you have a clear introduction, then you have your main body, and then transition out with your conclusion as well. So just make sure you organize your ideas well. All right, those are my main points. So I'll hand it back to you, Andy.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. And they were really good points. I'd just like to add to that, one way for you to introduce your ideas, introduce your movies, is actually start by outlining a problem. okay? Because you're talking about global issues. And usually when you say issue, it means a problem. So outline the problem, and then your movie is kind of the solution to that problem. And it might just be something as small as second year students don't know about Fukaya Maru. So I'm going to tell you about the Fukaya Maru. Okay, that's all you need to do. You just outline the question, and then your movie is the answer. All right? Okay, thanks for that, Matt. Okay, so what we'll do now is I will share my screen again, and we'll just go through what you have to do this week for the maritime movie presentation. Okay? Okay, and just a reminder, the today's talk on WebEx is going to be recorded. So if you can't remember everything that Matt just said, come back and watch what he said. Okay, so that you make sure that you can improve your own movies. Okay, so what you will be doing this week, okay, last week you should have created the materials. You should have gone into Adobe Spark, you should have created a movie on Adobe Spark, and then started adding pictures and diagrams and maybe video to your movie. So one scene on your storyboard should become one scene on your Adobe Spark movie. What you need to do this week is go back and add narration to your movie. Every one of those slides, okay, becomes an Adobe Spark, a part of your movie. And I'll just open it up. I should have had this open already. Okay. I'll just open it up and I'll demonstrate what it is you need to do, okay? I might come back to that. I'll just wait for it to open. All right. Now, there is a lot of information on in the week 5 folder, so let's have a look at that. We'll just go through it quickly. Okay, in here. Okay, so in week 5, what you will be doing, adding narration to your video using Adobe Spark. There are 2 goals to the lesson. First, we want you to create your first draft of your movie. Now, this is not the final thing that you are going to give to us. This is your first run of doing the movie. Then you need to add your narration to the photos, and then you need to go back and you need to edit. You should download a copy of your first draft as an MP4 file, and that is simply done as a backup. If something terrible happens and you lose your movie next week or something strange happens to it, at least you still have a backup copy. You can give us something. All right? So to add narration, here are the instructions. All right? You open up your file. Okay, open up your file, and then for each slide, you click on the microphone and you hold the microphone down while you are talking. So imagine you're using your mouse, you would click on the left clicker button of your mouse, hold it down, and talk. And you'll know that you're recording because there will be a clock in the corner here, which will start counting, and you'll see your voice waves next to it as you narrate. Okay, so that's all explained here. What you need to do is listen to your recording and then make sure it's okay. If it's not, go back and do it again. Okay, you can re-record the narration over the top of a previous narration. That's fine. But once you've re-recorded, the first one is gone. So you want to make a better copy. Okay, so hint, practice your narration 2 or 3 times before you record what you want to say. Okay, pay particular attention to any difficult words. If there's something which is difficult to pronounce, then you can check the pronunciation by going to dictionary.com. Okay, if you do that, in fact, I'll open that up for you. We'll have a quick look. If you do that, you can just put in the word that you think might be difficult. And then click here
Maritime.
to listen to the pronunciation. You can also see what it looks like here, and you can see the phonetic spelling as well. Okay, so any difficult words, check the pronunciation of them, and then practice it, and then record it. All right, now once you have recorded your entire movie, you've done the narration, that's your first draft. What you should do then is download that first draft. Okay, download it onto your computer's hard drive. Okay, note, do not submit this as your final movie. Okay, don't submit your first draft. These are the instructions on how to download it. It's very simple. Adobe Spark is really easy to use. Just click download. It'll ask you where do you want to save it. It will then, okay, so you select a file, a place on your hard drive to save it, and it will then take a little while. It usually takes 1 or 2 minutes, but it will download it straight onto your hard drive for you. Okay, when you download it, please give it a name. Make the name of the file your name, so your first name and second name, plus your project title, so the name of your movie, and then add first draft. So, for example, if it was me, I might go Andy Souter, important rules aboard the Fukaya Maru, first draft. Please do the same thing when you are saving your movie, okay? And then make sure you click save. Don't forget that. Okay, and then what you are ready to do is next week, you are ready to edit and review your movie and make it better, okay? All right, so that's what you have to do for the Maritime movie this week, okay? Let's go back. For some of you, that might be the hardest part, the actual speaking. For others, it might be the easiest, and maybe collecting all the information was the hardest part. Now, out of the textbook, there were 3 activities. The first one is a reading activity. This is from page 61. Here we go. Okay, quick preview. And, okay, read the dialogue between the Coast Guard and a vessel at sea. Answer the questions based on the reading. This is the same reading in the book on page 61. If you want to, you can do it on page 61 first. Come back and answer the questions here. I think you get 2 chances to do this. Okay, this is the actual reading in there. We're looking at coal regs, okay, collision regulations. And you just need to type in here and answer the question. There are 8 questions, okay? And they are all the same questions that are in the textbook. Once you have submitted your questions, you will be able to see the answers. And I'm not perfect. I sometimes get those answers wrong, okay? I apologize for that when it happens. And I want to say thank you to those people who have been letting me know if there has been a mistake. Okay, if there is a mistake, I want to fix it as soon as possible, so please keep telling me if I have made any mistakes. All right, let's have a quick look at the listening. Okay. So the listening activity comes in here. We'll do the preview again. Okay, this time it's from exercise 10 on page 62. Again, you read the dialogue and oh, that's wrong. Sorry. There you go. Like I said, I make mistakes. Just do the listening. Okay, so to do this, you need to click here, okay, to play the recording. And then you can put your answers in here. Okay, so for example,
number 1.
Okay, I won't play the whole thing, but you listen to it. You can listen to it as many times as you want, okay? And then you answer these 3 questions. You have to type in what you think the answer is from the listening activity. There are 2 questions. One is the listening 1, the other was the listening 2, okay? Read the questions carefully, then put in your answer. Now, the third activity, which I will have a look at just quickly. Third activity is a speaking activity. You are going to record your voice. Okay? There's 1 question. All right. Read the information in the box, and then you have to make a broadcast to all ships. Okay? So you have to pretend you are in the Coast Guard and you are talking to all ships. So read the instructions. This is the message you have to make. What I suggest you do is you sit down and you write out the message first. Okay? When you are ready, then click on the red button to record your message. You have a minute, but I don't think you'll need a minute. I think 20 to 30 seconds will be fine. But again, just like the Maritime Movie Project, you should practice what you want to say 1 or 2 times before you actually do it. Okay? And there is a rubric for how you will be assessed on this. Not sure where that rubric is. Hang on. But essentially, you'll be assessed on your English ability and also the fact that you included all the information. Those 2 things. Okay, so that's the speaking activity, and I will grade that. Okay, so those are the 3 activities out of the textbook for this week. Now, one more thing. You are all about to get a message on Remind asking you to do the first survey. Okay, that's coming out in about 30 seconds. When it comes to your phone, I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now. What I want you to do is in the chat box, I want you to tell me that you received the message. Okay? And if you don't receive the message in 1 minute, please let me know. After you receive the message, please do the survey. And we're going to do this while we're all online. Okay? Now, the main reason I'm doing this is I want to make sure that everybody is getting the survey. Okay, I want to make sure that you still all have Remind and that the survey is working. I had to adjust the survey a little bit because we're now all online. Okay, so I want to make sure that everybody is able to use the survey correctly. Okay, now the survey just went out. It's on my phone. You should have got something at the top there. Okay, ignore my wife and my family. You should have got something like that. Okay, you should be able to click on that, go into Remind. Oops, I have to log in as well. Okay, I think using Google was the easiest way. And when you get the survey, just click on the link and do it. Okay. Now I'm just going to wait a few minutes. Okay, we'll wait until 4:15. Please send me a text. Everybody, send me a text to say yes, you got it, or no, you didn't. Okay? At 4:15, so that's in 4 minutes. If you got the email, if you got the email or got the text, I beg your pardon, please do the survey. Do it right now. Okay, I'm getting worried. Nobody has replied. Okay, thank you, Aina. Okay, just a reminder, doing this will actually count towards your grade. Okay, it's not a big amount. I think we'll probably keep it small. It helps me, but hopefully it will also help the students who follow after you, because your answers help me improve um, the maritime movie project and everything else that we do in the class. Okay, I will just share my screen quickly. I'll show you what you should get, and I'll show you how to do it for those who are new especially. Okay, this obviously is on a PC screen. This is Remind. But when you open this on your phones, okay, just click on the link. It should take you here. Okay, it should say ROE, which stands for Record of Engagement. Okay, Maritime English 2, our first one for the quarter 2020. Just click on Next. Okay, there's about 20 questions. It could change depending what you say. Please put in your name. Please use English. Okay, and it's first name and then family name. Next. Your student number. Okay, put this in. You don't need to put in the W. Okay, just the number. And next. Okay, now this question is really important. Are you studying Maritime English 2 at the moment? Yeah, you are. If you are here listening to me, you are studying Maritime English 2. If you get this survey next week, okay, it'll be after the WebEx class is finished, you might not be studying Maritime English 2, in which case you would answer no. But let's say yes, next, and then it's all the same questions that you got last semester with a few little changes. Like instead of inside the class or outside the class, it's are you doing this at home, or are you doing it outside of home, or you're doing it some other place in the library or your grandmother's house or somewhere like that, okay? And then next, and then keep going until you get to the end, okay? There's 8 questions in the first section asking what activities are you studying? And then there's another 8 questions which are asking what is your reaction to the activity? Okay, what is your feeling about the activity? All right, I will get rid of that and I will stop sharing. Now, like I said, please enter your text into the WebEx chat. Okay, either yes or no. If you don't know how to use the WebEx chat, I might just share my screen again so I can show you. All right. It doesn't show you, does it? No. Okay, I can't actually share it with you while I'm using it. If you are struggling to send me a text, thanks Ryotaro. If you're struggling to send me a text through WebEx, okay, then send it through Remind. Okay, send me a message on Remind. You can do it that way as well, okay? But it looks like a few of you are doing it now. That's fantastic, thank you. Okay, I'll stop sharing my screen. If you're having problems with Remind, okay, especially those new students or any repeaters, there is an explanation of how to register with Remind in the week 5 folder. It's right down the bottom, okay? There's a Google document, a YouTube video, and then there's a link to our class page on Remind. Okay. Okay, some of you are starting to do it now. That's excellent. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, I'm glad nearly everybody has replied. If you are having trouble with the survey or with Remind, please tell me. You can either send me a message on Remind. Well, if you're having trouble with Remind, you can't do it that way. Send me a message on Schoology, okay? Is the easiest way. If you're having any troubles, and I will help you out straight away. All right, I think we might stop there for today. Matt, any final words?
Oh, sorry about that, Andy. Nope.
Yep, caught you off guard.
No, good summary there. I would just say keep up with your work, guys. Tomorrow is the last work week of Maritime English, right?
2 more weeks.
2 more weeks. All right. So we're very close to the end of the quarter. Make sure you're keeping up with your stuff, with your work, and let us know if you need help, especially with Adobe Spark, or if you need help with anything. Don't wait too long. Let us know and we'd be happy to help you. We can even arrange an individual WebEx meeting and help you walk it through and figure it out. So don't worry. Just let us know if you need help.
Yep.
Okay? Yep. That's it.
Yeah, and just to clarify that, there are 3 weeks left. This is the beginning of week 5. Next week we'll have week 6. And then in week 7, you have to submit your assignments, okay? So you have 2 more weeks to finish making the movie. And then you have to submit, and we will watch your movies next quarter, okay? The first lesson next quarter. All right, we'll finish up there. Thank you, everybody. As I said, if you have any problems, as Matt said, if you have any problems, let us know. We can help. If you find any mistakes with the material that I put out there, okay, let me know. I'll fix it as quickly as I can. But otherwise, I think everybody's doing a fantastic job, okay? Working online is really hard work, but you guys seem to be doing it really well. So good job. Congratulations. And yeah, stay safe, and we'll see you all again this time next week. All right. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of your videos, okay? All right. See you guys. I'll stop the recording now.